Let me now turn to the holders of the wealth, the holders of the trillions. Mr. Armando Manuel, sovereign wealth funds is a veritable source of development financing in Africa. Can you kindly share Angola's experience in building and utilizing this fund to achieve economic and structural transformation?
Thank you very much, Asato, for the invitation to be in this important conversation alongside the distinguished panelists here. We have been adopting for almost 10 years multi-asset class, a global strategy, looking for growth on a long term, mostly concentrated in securities, fixed income, and private equity. But we have also an active presence in the continent where we invest in alternatives in sectors such as hospitality, mining, ICT, and we are strongly focused on agri, looking to cash crops, animal and vegetal protein. For instance, we believe that there is no sense for Africa to continuously import poultry meat when it takes 35 days to fatten a chicken, 20 days to incubate an egg, a couple of hours to smash the grain to feed the meal, and 3 months to produce the grain. This is doable, and we believe by doing it, we can have profits, but we can also provide jobs to the youth, and we can support the economic transformation much needed to the continent. We have been also focused on healthcare, mostly on manufacturing of generic drugs, and we have a huge appetite to green assets. For instance, we are currently developing a green asset comprised with 53,000 hectares, with the potential to scale it up to 200,000 hectares. Doing it, we are not only investing in the forest value chain, but we are creating conditions to easily tap the bond market and mobilize those resources of green bonds and support the economic transformation. Our strategy is to mobilize private capital. We believe by doing it, we leverage much more our balance sheet. For instance, in Angola, where we put $1, we expect to bring $2, $3, $4 from outside. This is all about partnering with asset managers, pension funds, or the sovereign wealth funds, investment banks. We have been also strong on infrastructure. As Alan alluded, we were one of the active players partnering with Africa 50 Acceleration, providing resources, and we are pushing to get into renewables, get into the grid sector. So this mostly comprises our vision. We see ourselves as a de-risking tool for FDI because we are on the ground, we understand pretty well the market, and we can definitively support the FDI coming into the continent. But moving forward, what we see here is the importance to partner with DFIs, with the development banks, with a number of multilateral development organizations, considering the comparative advantage that those institutions have in terms of knowledge, the comparative advantage that they have in terms of convening power, supporting governments to speed up reforms, to create one enabling business environment in which we can deploy safely our resources. So we expect, to see much more on the side of African Development Bank partnering with us, explore, for instance, the area of the project preparation, as someone mentioned here. We often say PDF We need to plan properly, prepare the projects. We need to de-risk, and then those resources available can be deployed in terms of finance. We see a number, for instance, of pension funds in the continent with massive savings. But the idea is how we can create the risk mitigation instruments. For instance, currency risk mitigation instruments that can able to get those resources and deploy them across the continent. How we can look, to the set of instruments, loans, guarantees, syndicates, diaspora bonds, and be innovative, tailor those instruments to match the investor's expectation and the risk-return profile of the investments. Perhaps this is something that we have to work out all together. Tap the blending finance, impact finance, but not forget the role of the trust funds. At some extent, grants can be used to offset the cost of the transactions. So basically, our understanding is that we can create a strong financial ecosystem in the continent, and the African Development Bank can have a strong role and bring us together, work with the governments to speed up reforms and ensure that we have a safe environment to deploy our resources. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me now turn to you,